Right, good evening. I'd like to call the North Aurora Village Board meeting for Monday, May 4th, 2026 to order. Please join me in silent prayer and meditation. Great, thank you. Please join me in a pledge of allegiance. Roll call, please.
Mayor Gaffino.
Here.
Trustee Christensen.
Here.
Trustee Curtis.
Here.
Trustee Gately.
Here.
Trustee Lowry.
Here.
Trustee Nedved.
Here. All right, thank you. Under audience comments, Dave Thiessen, would you like to come up? Just state your name and address for the...
Yeah, good evening, everyone. I am Dave Theising, and I reside at 20 North Adams Street. And I am the spokesperson for 9 families. We have many of them sitting here tonight. We came in person because we need your help. The item in question is the destruction of 21 North Adams. It's been sitting for 8 months. I'd like to give you some talking points that I don't know if you're aware of what's going on there. And then I have 2 recommendations at the end. First of all, we've been looking at it for 8 months. We think that it's gotten out of sight, out of mind of everybody. The insurance and the investigators, and the village, and the owner. I think the owner's out of state. So we just think everybody's kind of like maybe aware of it, but it's out of sight, out of mind. It's not. There's no urgency. So we're here to ask for your help to get urgency. We have been tolerating anxiety attacks and PTSD. One of the families here tonight, his kids won't even sleep on the same side of the house anymore. His oldest moved out. We have other young people with anxiety attacks occurring in the neighborhood. So we want to bring that to your attention that we're living this. Real estate values are affected. I live directly across the street from 21. I have a bird's eye view, and I can tell you this, car after car just stops, and they look at it, and then they drive on. It's affecting the whole morale of the neighborhood and everyone that drives down there. Right now, there's a temporary fence around the destroyed property. That fence is 2 feet on 19's property to the south, and 3 feet on 23's property to the north without permission. It got put in there because of the debris, the splash of all the debris. But 8 months of these people losing their yard, it's not right. There's trash blowing around the neighborhood, and that trash, just by virtue of the age of the house, the trash and debris and dust is going to contain asbestos and lead paint and mold. It's blowing around the neighborhood. It's a health hazard. Rodents have moved in. We've observed raccoons and cats. I don't think they're together, but we've seen them both in that house now, a nest of raccoons. There are 2 trees that burned along with the house, and those trees are dead, and they're a hazard if a storm comes in, and we've had several high winds in the storm. One of those trees is aimed right at 23 North Adams, the house to the north, and the other tree is aimed right at all the wires and the utility pole. If that collapses, and we got storms tonight, it's just going to be misery for everybody. The power will be out for days before ComEd could get in and repair it. And my last talking point, and the biggest one, and why we're here in person, looters. We have looters, and we don't know their network. We don't know if they're affiliated with gangs, migrants, if they have weapons. Looters can lead to home invasion. they could see other things in the alley. Right next door to the north is a single mom with a 3-year-old. We don't need a home invasion of any of the homes around. So we're asking the village for help. So today, the house is destroyed, it's abandoned, it's non-conforming to the village ordinance, and it's non-conforming to the residents. Now, one more talking point. On March 13th, a few weeks ago, a contractor knocked on my door. He introduced himself as a Menards contractor. And he said, I'm going to put a construction trailer in front of your house for 2 months. I wanted to get your okay, and I'll give you $50. I said, what are you doing? He said, I'm demolishing that house. I said, yo, we want that house demolished. You can put your trailer there, and you don't have to give me $50. And then I said, wait a minute. 2 months, it doesn't take 2 months to demolish. What else is going on? He goes, I'm building a new house. I said, well, that's good news, too. Who's the owner? He said, I don't know. I'm a contractor. I get called by Menards. I don't know who the owner is. I said, all right, when you start? He said, a couple of weeks. Well, that was mid-March. That would have been the end of March. Nothing happened. At 5 weeks, I went to the building department and downstairs, and I talked to the woman at the counter, Morgan, and I told her that story about the contractor, and I said, can you tell me if a permit has been issued for 21 North Adams? And she said, no, but she said an application has been submitted, but we haven't released a permit. Well, that's kind of good news. So I guess I want to give 2 recommendations. One is, if a permit, in fact, application has been submitted, that's, somebody in this room is in charge of the building department. Let's expedite that. We'd like to ask you to consider expediting that permit. Find out whose desk it's on, pull it out, and let's get it expedited. That's an easy fix. And chances are a contractor or a developer is going to be very eager to get started on the demolition. It would solve our problem and our anxiety. The second option is condemn the building as the village government. Condemn the building and demolish it. So it's currently non-conforming to the village ordinance, and we are at 8 months. 6 months is plenty of time to do all the investigating, and we're at 8 months now. So that's our statement. That's why I'm up here. Thank you for allowing us to talk. I do want to offer my services as it relates to the permit. In the daytime, I am a contractor, and I'm a construction professional. I've got a civil engineering degree and a state of Illinois license. And I have done 1,000 buildings in 40 years. And so I know about permits and zoning and demolition and construction, and I will understand what is missing. So if the building department needs something, I'm volunteering myself to be a runner. And I'll chase something down for you, for the building department. I will understand it, and I can go chase it down. Or if a blank's not filled in or they need supporting backup, I've just been around it my whole career. So I'm offering my services for option 1, which is get the permit released. It's the easiest and the fastest. Option 2 is to condemn the building and demolish it. We need the looters stopped. We need the trees down. And we need the debris that's floating around the neighborhood ended. So thank you. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Nathan, can you just kind of share
Sure.
with the board
Some light
what's
on it?
been going on with it?
Yeah, I can give you a quick update on that. The permit that was applied for has been issued. It's a demolition permit. We have not seen any plans for a new house. So whoever told you they were building a new house, I don't know who that was, but I haven't seen them. The demo permit was issued. I was hoping they were going to start work last week, but they didn't. So hopefully this week. The last 2 hang-ups were with the water and sewer disconnects. It was a lead service, so we have to take it back to the alley, and the sewer service with Fox Metro had some issues. But hopefully that's sorted out, and hopefully the contractor can start the demo work this week. It did take much longer than it should have. The owner, there was a death in the fire, and then the ownership is now a guy in Florida. So it's been hard to get them to care or move quickly, but I'm hopeful that the demolition here will happen pretty quick.
Wasn't insurance issues as well along the way there that took it so long to get to this point?
There was complications because of the death that went on in there, and then the new owner was a family relation, but it wasn't the spouse, so it was weird and complicated.
So we can push this forward then, I understand what they're saying, because it is ugly, I go by there all the time, and
The demo permit
it's falling in right now and everything, so.
Yep, the demo permit has been issued, so we're just waiting for that contractor to mobilize and get on site. And I will have Marcy, the code enforcement officer, call every day until it gets done.
Yeah, thanks for coming. No, I appreciate what you had to say, so, yeah.
Mayor, do you want me to address the criminal aspect of it?
Sure, your chief.
So we do have extra patrols around the property because we are aware, and we have an active investigation linking other crimes. Basically, they're scavenging for copper wire and things like that. So we do have an active investigation and some leads, and we're waiting for evidence to be analyzed, and then we should have some arrests shortly.
As far as a fence and on the neighbor's property, I mean, who put the fence up even? I don't even.
So I think the fence was put up right after the fire just to secure it, because it's a dangerous
By the
structure.
insurance company or by us or?
It was the insurance company.
Oh.
Like Nathan said, it was a messed up trying to figure out the family tree who was actually in charge of the property after the death. So we located a family member in Florida and worked with him, and the village basically forced them to put a fence around the property. And it went up pretty quick once Nathan got.
Yeah, but I mean, they weren't surveying property corners or anything. They just got it up quickly to secure the property.
Is it a temporary fence?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, so I'll come right down.
just
Yeah.
for safety.
Hopefully, once everything's demolished, the fence can
Yeah.
come right out.
All right, well, we'll keep an eye on it, Dave and everyone, so. Yep, thanks for coming. Yep. Anybody else before we move on? All right, consent agenda, Steve?
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight on the consent agenda, we have our minutes from our last board and committee of the whole meeting. We have our bills list, a travel expense report, a approval of a resolution for ongoing professional services, over $25,000. This is part of our annual process we do for our budget approval. And then the last one is approval of disposal of hauling contaminated soil. That is for a water main break that we had a couple months ago that was pretty bad in an industrial area, and the soil was contaminated and it has to be taken to a special site.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Roll, please.
Mayor Gafino,
Yes?
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis, Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Under new business, item 1, Jason?
Thank you, Mayor. This item is an ordinance increasing water rates effective June 1st, 2026. The Water System Master Plan was completed last fall and presented at a workshop in September. This workshop went through the study and discussed the future of the water system, including the capital improvements that are needed over the next 25 years. We also discussed water rates and capital improvements at our 2 budget meetings in March, and then most recently at our April 6th Committee of the Whole meeting. At that meeting, we went through primarily the capital projects needed over the next 10 years, and then various water rate structures that help fund those capital projects over that time. The consensus of the board was to follow a rate structure that had a lower bi-monthly base fee, but then a higher water usage fee, because this is the one that kind of minimized the actual impact on the average water user, plus the low water users that use less than 3,000 gallons. So the ordinance tonight increases the bi-monthly water rate from $16 to $25 for the first 3,000 gallons used, and increases the water usage rate from $5.95 to $8.03 per 1,000 for all usage over 3,000 gallons.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis,
Yes.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 2, Jason.
Thank you, Mayor. This item is an ordinance approving the budget for the fiscal year beginning June 1st, 2026 and ending May 31st, 2027. This budget was presented at both our March Committee of the Whole meetings, and it was brought back on the April 20th Committee of the Whole meeting with some updates we've had since then. One final change has been made. We did add $5,000 to the general fund budget for a potential neighborhood beautification grant program, which then brings the general fund's budgeted increase to $58,500 for the year.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Discussion? Roll, please.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis,
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item 3, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor. Item number 3 tonight is an ordinance for the sale of property. This is a part of a process when the village is interested in potentially selling a piece of property. We have to issue an ordinance that sets a 30-day notice period so that any other interested parties can also submit a bid for that property. So with the approval of this does not lock us into any current proposals or anything offered to the village at this time. It simply opens the 30-day window. And in order to set parameters, the village has 3. That 1, the bid will be open on June 15th. 2, the minimum price is set at $1 million, which is in line with our appraisal amounts for the property, and that the purchaser is a retail use, basically that can open up a permit within a year. So a retail use doesn't necessarily mean a store, it just means anything that can sell something at cost commercially.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Curtis,
Yes.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes. All right, thank you. Item 4, Steve.
The mayor.
Item
votes on
number
this one,
Oh,
too.
that one?
Mayor Gavino.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Now item 4, Steve.
Sorry about that. I forgot that one took 6 votes. Okay. Item number 4. Approval and ordinance for the liquor code. So there are actually going to be 2 back-to-back. So we separated them, given that there was a lot of conversation about the liquor codes when we brought it to Committee of the Whole. The first one is regarding some general updates, just cleaning it up and changing banquet halls to private event space. But the most significant part of the cleanup was the truck stop portion of the code now, which is taking the gas station liquor license and now creating a gas station 1 and a gas station 2 license, and the 2 license being for gas stations that meet the definition of a truck stop by Illinois Video Gaming Code and by state law. And if they meet that definition and ask for a liquor license, they would then be allowed to have video gaming, and the machines would be capped at 6, which is in line with what our restaurants and bars and everything else can have.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Curtis,
Yes.
Trustee Gately,
Yes.
Trustee Lowry,
Yes.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen.
Yes. All right, thank you. Item 5, Steve.
Okay, item number 5 is the section of the liquor code that we specifically talked about the Park District, and those changes include eliminating the annual $250 fee for their license, given we don't charge municipalities for permits. We thought it was weird that we have a $250 fee annually for them. It allows liquor at the Wilds of Red Oak till 11 p.m. Currently, it's allowed till 10:30, but their events, they want to go to 11. It removes Island Park as a place that can have liquor, so the only 2 remaining parks in town that could have liquor would be the Wilds at Red Oak Nature Center and Red Oak Nature Center itself. And then the last one was to allow bring your own beer or carry in liquor for general events at the Wilds at Red Oak. This would not be for weddings, it would only be for general events.
Motion approved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Nedved,
Yes.
Trustee Christensen,
Yes.
Trustee Curtis? Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Item 6, Nathan?
Actually, I'm going to take number 6.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. Item number 6 on the agenda tonight is a resolution. This resolution would be in opposition of a solar farm that was proposed specifically for a property off of Tanner Road, 2900 Tanner Road. The PIN is written specifically in the resolution itself. This comes from our discussion last week where we were discussing solar farm regulations and zoning for municipal boundary areas. And in that discussion, we discussed how a new state law that goes into effect on June 1 basically says that municipalities have to zone solar farms somewhere or allow them inside your community. So that process has started. The board looked at some zoning districts. That's going to Plan Commission tomorrow night with the recommendation from the Committee of the Whole, which was to put them in the I districts and the ORI, the Office Research and Industrial Districts. That goes to Plan Commission tomorrow, and then will come back as an ordinance to the Village Board on May 18th. During that discussion, we also mentioned that there was a state law that dates back to 2023 that regulates solar farms in unincorporated areas. And in those areas, counties are also given a parameter in which when they receive a solar farm development, they basically look at that and decide whether or not it meets the parameters, and if so, they go through approval or with regulations that say that they aren't discounting them or not allowing them. But part of that process is still that they notify municipalities, typically within 1.5 miles of a municipal boundary. Because of that, we were noticed of this solar farm on 2900 Tanner Road. This one, as we brought up to the board, happens to be in our future comprehensive plan and our future boundary line area, meaning the village has already looked at it and said one day we would like this to be a development. In this case, it was a residential development. Nathan's putting the map up on the screen for me. So with that, the board directed us to bring a resolution back. This resolution, once again, is very specific to this property and the proposed solar farm on the property. It is not a statement against solar farms in general, only this property's proposed solar farm. With that, it just lists some very basic things such as, worried about access future development, the ability for the village to control what kind of zoning goes there in the future.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion?
How long is the lease for the Kaddish property? So he's leasing it to a solar farm, right? And the follow-up question is, if it's, say, 10 years, are we able to annex that land and then rezone it?
So it is a lease. We haven't been given the terms yet. We are going to have a technical meeting with Kaddish and the county sometime in the next week or so we can ask those types of questions. We can ask him to annex and then zone, but we can't force annex it because we don't surround it. So we couldn't force him to annex to the village.
The technical meeting was supposed to be this morning, but it got canceled. So we would have had some up-to-date information. The reason we put it on this agenda was given the fact that the technical meeting was going to be today. We weren't sure how fast the county process was and whether or not it was going to get to a vote before the next meeting with the village board.
It's my understanding the county's hands are tied on this. They can't really change it either. Is that true?
Correct. If they meet the standards set out in the state law, they have to approve it.
So, okay.
So the objection to the solar farm is because we would prefer a residential development, is that?
Correct. Our comprehensive plan calls for it to be single-family residential.
That's kind of the point of allowing a municipality to object if it's within the mile and a half range,
Right.
because the municipality, has probably planned something, and so at least they take it into consideration. It doesn't bind them. They're still going to,
Well, my question is, if we vote to oppose it, they'll go through with it anyway, is that correct?
It's our understanding that, as Nathan said,
And-
assuming it meets all those parameters, they'll likely approve it.
Okay. Do they have any ability to say no? Is it the state level that's dictating this?
The state law dictates the setbacks, the zoning, what can and cannot happen. And so some counties a few years ago had denied some of these, and they'd recently gone through some litigation. And in that litigation, we've been told through our channels and through the court cases that they are starting to basically overturn those denials.
I think what you're asking is maybe related to the landowner.
Well, one concern is the property values, and I did a little research on it, and it's mixed, is what it said, and the negative impact is very slight and it's temporary. So there's that to consider. The subdivision just west of that is a very nice subdivision, and I would be concerned about those residents and their own concerns about their property value and how they would feel about this farm too. That said, I'm all for solar farms. I think that's what we need to do going to the future as we wean ourselves away from fossil fuel energy supplies. I'm real on the fence about how to go with this, but the argument that we want to develop it is convincing enough for me to consider voting with you, with the board. But I want to go on record saying I have grave reservations about voting against the solar farm.
I don't think the vote is necessarily against solar farms. The vote would be just in this particular area that we had planned for residential.
Neighborhood. Right.
That's all. I mean, I think we
That's it.
discussed it last time that we're okay with solar farms in certain areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are we going to stop it?
We can't stop this,
Yeah.
but we can send a resolution, and that would go to the county so they can view how we think about it. I mean, that's the purpose of this.
All right.
No,
Okay, thank you.
I'm concerned because the county, is aware of the fact that we have a housing shortage. And the fact that they'd want to take such a large piece of land and turn it into a solar farm, which, you don't get tax revenue, you're not producing single-family homes, which we have a severe shortage of right now. I mean, is there some way we could instill an argument
Of course,
that-
it's not the county that
it's
is
the
introducing
state.
it, it's the
Some
landowner,
type
with
Something
some
happens.
agreement that they have with the developer. So the county doesn't have any control over what comes to them either. They receive an application like we do for zoning
So
approval.
I'm a little confused. So do we have any say to this farm going in, or is it just going to go in regardless?
Technically, we have say, we can object, but that doesn't, it doesn't bind the county. It just requires the county to take into account our objection. And unfortunately, I think the county may not have the ability to say no to this. I think the only hope would be that maybe the landowner, thinks there might be a better way to develop that property. But they're pretty far down the road with this, so that may not,
Thanks, Kevin.
be a
And the
good hope.
staff's role in this process would be attending the technical meetings, for instance, and trying to work on the things that we know would make sense for our neighboring community, for instance, access to the site and things like that. They're reaching out to us to ask those types of questions. They're asking the fire district about how to get access to the site.
So let's talk about that access off in Lake Run. Is this something we can say absolutely not to?
Yeah, we can say that. Now, does that mean that they will deny it or approve it that way? I don't know, but we can say that, and that's definitely one of the things Nathan and I had talked about, because it would potentially bring construction traffic or maintenance traffic through that Lake Run neighborhood.
And the 50-foot setback off of Tanner, I mean, that seems awfully close as well. I see they did accommodate the home in Lake Run, 150 feet setback on that, but, yeah, so. I thought it was a 20-year lease, but maybe that was somebody else's we were listening to.
Nathan and I had, in talking to other people, we had heard that typically leases are 20-plus years.
Yeah, because I can't see them doing all this work for 10 years and having it ripped up and put homes there or something. I mean, the owner retains the property. I mean, I get why they're doing it, I guess, and,
So he has owner's rights, his owner has his rights,
yeah.
Is there any way to rezone the land south that we're looking to have developed that would go against the rules of having a solar farm there?
So because it's unincorporated to the south, we don't have the rights to zone it, but we actually have a meeting with the county tomorrow, and we are trying to, there is that a potential development that wants to go in not directly to the south, but directly to the east, and potentially to the south in the future. So what Nathan will do is we'll talk about how that would work as far as annexing into North Aurora. And specifically what we'll talk to the county about is their future transportation, where they've talked in the past about realigning Deer Path and Tanner Roads, and how any development of that to the property, I believe you're saying to the south,
Yeah.
how any of that would affect the actual future transportation in the county. So there may still be, I want to
Sliver.
yes, I don't want to give that there's like hope, but on certain major issues, there might be a reason to say, okay, or at least scale back something to modify it.
That's a good point, because the county's realignment plan would not only affect the Berger property, it would affect the Tanner property, but the Tanner property has an agricultural easement on it, so that can't be developed. And maybe the county would rethink how they want that road to be reconfigured to allow development of the Berger property without, intercepting it with a road.
Is there any way that we can kindly send something to the owner of the property voicing our concerns or our opinion on it?
I mean, absolutely. In fact, he was supposed to be at the technical committee meeting today, or the person who's representing the property. And
This property's not in our city limits, though.
the house is inside North Aurora, but the land where the solar farm is unincorporated.
Oh, the land to the right, is that not going to be a solar farm?
The land to the east?
To the east, yeah.
As of right now, no. It's just on the map, right? There's some to the east, but the giant piece of land east of that is not proposed.
Okay.
So to your point, when we go to that technical meeting, it's our intent to send this resolution to all 6 of our county board members and the county president, so at least that they have indirectly our direct representation. And then at the technical committee, we would also pass along the sentiments of the board tonight.
Okay,
Anything else?
No.
Mike?
That's it.
Laura?
No, I don't have.
Call the roll.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yeah, with reservations.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Last item, item 7, Brian?
Thank you, Mayor. This item is a professional service agreement with EEI. The village collects water samples to comply with IEPA requirements for lead and copper rule compliance. Several samples have exceeded the action level for lead, which triggered the need for a corrosion control study that is required by the IEPA. Staff worked with EEI and Cornwell Engineering Group on a scope of work for the PSA. This includes project management, pipe harvesting, scale analysis, flow-through studies, and a summary. The total cost of the PSA is $463,573. However, this will be spread out over the next 3 fiscal years. We currently have $450,000 budgeted for this project. The cost of this project for the first year is $260,000. The staff is recommending entering the PSA with EEI for the corrosion control study in the amount of $463,573.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Trustee Nedved?
Yes.
Trustee Christensen?
Yes.
Trustee Curtis?
Yes.
Trustee Gately?
Yes.
Trustee Lowry?
Yes.
All right, thank you. That concludes our new business. President report, I have nothing. Trustee comments? Seeing none. Administrator report?
No report tonight, thank you.
Department reports? Chief?
Mayor, just a couple things. One, it doesn't really apply to us per se, but I don't know if you heard about drones as first responders, the DFR campaign that's starting in Illinois. I believe Oak Brook is the first one to have this program, but we've come to hear that Aurora, in conjunction with King County, will have one, and then Naperville as well. And how this works is a major call would come out, say a traffic crash, a house fire, an armed robbery, There'll be a pilot in a command center, and the drone will be dispatched first before officers or fire department personnel to the area, so it will be real-time information to what equipment they should bring. They'll be able to track an offending vehicle, an offender. If it's a crash and it's called out as injury, but the drone sees that it's not a major injury, officers then can slow down and not drive as fast as they would if somebody was really hurt. So it's just, that's going to be in our area now, so it should be in the news shortly, so just so you're aware of something like that.
Is there a fee for that, or like
Oh,
be part of something?
It's extremely expensive.
Yeah.
I believe it's in a couple $100,000 for the program itself. I think it's the software as the main thing. So the drone would go out first, officers get to the area, and then it goes back to the so-called nest for a battery change, and ready for the next call. But if Aurora has one, if we have a major incident, I could request that they would send it out for us as well.
That's great.
Good.
And then Cops on a Rooftop is next Friday, so not this Friday, the next Friday, from 6 a.m. to noon. And the department will staff all 3 of our Dunkin' Donut locations with officers, family members, EMA, and volunteers for our current Citizens Police Academy.
All right, Duncan's the place to be, so.
Good coffee.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. All right, we start committee of the whole shortly.